Hello, everybody. This is Zaxter99. This is a really sad story that I just read about today. This happened Friday. I read another local report in my local news website, but this one's coming from NBC News, has a little more information. So I thought I'd share this with you guys. This is about a hiker that was killed just 2 days ago by a grizzly bear in Yellowtone National Park. Now, pretty much everybody knows where Yellowtone National Park is. It's in Montana and Wyoming, northwestern corner of Wyoming, near Jackson Hole, Wyoming, if you've ever been there, north of Jackson Hole. Now, the National Park Service said a preliminary investigation had found that the hiker was killed by a grizzly bear. Although the exact cause of death, what exactly happened, has yet to be determined. The service said investigators had identified what appeared to be defensive wounds on the man's arms. It said the victim had been found partially consumed in the vicinity of Elephant Black Loop Trail near Lake Village on Friday afternoon. So this is a popular area. This is an area where a lot of people visit Yellowstone National Park. And I mean, it's August, so there are a lot of people in this area. Elephant Black Loop Trail, that is one of the more popular trail areas in Yellowstone National Park. It's not like this is a distinct wilderness part of the area that nobody goes to. Now, based on the partial tracks found at the scene, it appears that an adult female grizzly bear and at least one cub of the year were present and likely involved in the incident, the National Park Service said in a statement. So they don't know exactly what happened yet. But I can tell you that any time there's a cub involved, the grizzly's cub, very good chance that the grizzly got aggressive because of trying to protect that cub. We don't know yet. That's just my guess. Grizzly bears are typically very gentle in nature. They pretty much like to avoid a fight. They don't go out looking for a fight, especially against humans. But they can be aggressive if they're starving. They might attack a human, or if something agitates them, or if they're being protective of one of their young. So this is a sad story. A man died, and this was evidently an experienced hiker who worked for urgent care clinics in the national park area, Yellowstone National Park. Now, a ranger found his body in a popular, like I said, this is a popular area. A ranger found his body in a popular off-trail area that he was known to visit. Now, wildlife biologists have set traps in the area, and this is another sad part here, and bears will be euthanized if they are determined to have been involved in the attack. So you're asking me, what does euthanized mean, Zaxter99? Well, that's a fancy word for meaning that this grizzly bear, if they find out or they think that this grizzly attack the man for no reason, basically, like if the man didn't provoke it or do something stupid, which I doubt he did, they're probably going to put this grizzly bear down. They're going to put the bear to sleep. And euthanize just basically means killing this grizzly bear in a humane way. That's really all the word means. So that's sad, because grizzly bears, there are like less than 1,500 grizzly bears in the Rocky Mountains of the USA and Canada right now. As of like 1975, grizzly bears were almost on the extinction list. Now, we have actually worked to actually, protect wildlife areas to actually help grizzly bears reestablish their numbers to some degree, but there still are not a ton of grizzly bears left. Brown bears, yeah, there's a lot of brown bears, but grizzly bears, at sometime in the future, we could see grizzly bears go extinct if we're not very, very careful. Now, evidently up in Alaska, there are more than 30,000 grizzly bears right now. A lot more wilderness up there in Alaska, a lot bigger area that's left untampered with by humans. Less towns, less industry, less everything up there in the wilderness of Alaska. But down here in the States and in Canada, there's not that many grizzly bears left. So to actually have to put one down like this is pretty sad. So obviously they're closing off the Elephant Black Loop Trail while they're investigating this. And they want to go ahead and reestablish and want to tell people that Yellowstone National Park is considered bear country. Hikers are advised to stay on designated trails and travel in groups of 3 or more people. Carry hairspray, carry alerts for bears like whistles and that kind of thing, and make noise while you're walking down the trail to avoid surprise encounters. I can't reiterate this enough, people. I can tell you that when I was 12 years old, I was with my grandparents up in Montana as well. We were up on a trail. We were backpacking. I don't remember exactly where it was. I believe it was up in Glacier. And we were on a trail, just walking up the trail, like not that far from the parking lot, maybe a mile at the most. I mean, my grandparents were in their 50s, and I was 12 years old. And they were walking slow, so here I am, a 12-year-old kid. I'm, anxious. And like most 12-year-old kids, I'm walking faster than them, trying to get ahead of them. I was walking down the trail, and right in front of me, walking like diagonally, looking away from me, didn't definitely see me. I mean, it might have seen me before, but all I know is I looked straight up, and I saw a big brown bear walk right in front of me. Now, it wasn't big enough to be a grizzly. I do remember that, but it was big, and it was a big old brown bear, like a mother brown bear or something like that. I almost crapped my pants when I looked up and saw that bear. Is kind of what I thought inside. I didn't make any kind of noise. I'm sure I made noise, but that was running back to where my grandparents are, and I'm like, bear, 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 as I'm looking them in the face. And so seeing a bear can be awfully scary. The first time I had ever seen one, and my grandparents knew by the look of shock and horror on my face that I wasn't kidding around, even though I've been known to be a jokester in my life. But they knew that I was not kidding by the look of sheer terror on my face. And I mean, it's bear area, so they knew that, pretty likely. Thankfully, the bear, just walked right in front of me. If it noticed me, it didn't pay me no attention. But, if you are going to go backpacking up in the Rocky Mountains, anywhere in the Rocky Mountains, especially if you're going in a wilderness area, I mean, this was a popular area, a popular trail area. Can't reiterate enough, people try to walk these trails alone and do this stuff alone all the time, and that's a very bad idea. You're making less noise for one. If you're with a friend or family or whatever, you can at least be talking while you're walking down the trail, and bears will hear that and try to avoid that kind of stuff. Avoid surprise attacks when you're not so quiet, being alone. And you always want to come prepared. So I'm sure this hiker thought he was, had been around the area long enough that he could be in this area by himself. But as we find out here, looks like he got jumped by a grizzly bear that probably thought he was some kind of threat to her cub. And now the experienced hiker is dead, partially eaten, and they're probably going to have to put this grizzly bear down. That's sad all the way around. My heart and prayers go out to the family of this experienced hiker in Montana. They haven't released the name yet, so obviously they're going to wait and do an investigation. They want to tell his family and stuff like that before it comes out on the news. But whoever it is, my heart and prayers go out to the family of this man, just a sad story all the way around. Be sure to leave me down in the comments below what you guys think of this story. Have you guys ever seen a bear of any kind in your life? What do you think about this story? And let me know down in the comments below. Be sure you rate this video. Be sure you subscribe. Thanks for watching, everybody. This has been Zaxter99. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.